Good morning, guys. This is a profile pop-up for Manpreet. Now, I like the picture. You're zoomed in enough. You got a nice, pleasant smile looking straight ahead. That's a great picture. You got an interesting background there. It's a word cloud that obviously jumps out as marketing and souls, I think is what that word is there. It's getting cut off a little bit. Or maybe it's sales. It's an interesting A. Anyway, you notice that you've got your marketing coordinator and you've got the company name, I believe, at whatever, Avenza Systems, and then you have the pipe symbol Google AdWords Certified Digital Marketing. A lot of people by default put the company, the at company, that's your default, your current title at your current company. And if you're starting off that way, backing up here to a search for your name, that didn't do it. Hang on a second. There we go. You see how I get marketing coordinator? It just fits, which is really great. And if I put in here a little bit more, I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else that you might be facing. If people that have a similar name, right? You want to make sure you stand out, but definitely marketing coordinator is what you're being found for, or at least in the searches. Then, it's interesting. You could check on that, by the way, speaking of being what you're found for, you could look and see what your stats are on that. But this is the big thing that I noticed first off. I haven't looked at this beforehand, and I noticed, thanks for stopping by, blank line, I'm a highly professional and punctual. That's all I get. Does that incline, or does that entice us to want to click or tap on see more? I would argue it does not. Now, I open this up, and you've got a lot more interesting facts here. Some fun facts about you. I jumped right down to that because you got some good spacing. Your specialties, I jumped down to that. So I'm starting, when I'm opening this up, and let's say I'm from a recruiter perspective, or even leads maybe, but especially a recruiter. I'm looking at this in chunks. I'm looking at it, content birds, okay, interesting quote, from a sales associate to a marketer, specialties, fun facts, if you want to grab coffee. So that's how I quickly look at it to kind of decide, do I want to invest more time? And without metrics, without accomplishments, and just by starting off, you lost a little bit of space and a little bit of speed, momentum with the beginning there, highly professional and punctual. Well, what does that have to do with, with me, what you can do for me? Let's say I were the one wanting to hire you. So that's the first thing that I'm looking at. Keep that in mind. Let's go into your some of your experience here, Manpreet, and see if some of your experience will help talk more about some of that you're talking about. So the first thing I do is I look at this, and I look at it, and I see an internship for 4 months, and then a sales associate in 2018, another internship that ended in 2018. So basically, you're starting in 2019 as a marketing coordinator. This is pretty much your first full-time job, is the impression that I'm getting right there from just glancing at it, and that's all fine. That's all good. But what I want to make sure is very clear as I'm opening all these up, I'm doing it because I want to learn more about you, right? I'm already interested. I'm already here. I'm invested, but I do want to know more about you. Now, if I backed up a second here and one more tap in here, so notice I had to tap, I had to scroll, tap, all these things, there's layers here. And notice how much more you get on the first current position than you do on the others. You get 4 short lines on these others, and you get double that, notice, on the first one. So in that, though, it's a big block of text. So you're helping the marketing team in planning, managing, et cetera, et cetera. You're assisting the team. Google Analytics, Hootsuite. Okay, I'm liking the Google Analytics, the Hootsuite, customer satisfaction. Now granted, you've got 2 months here on the job. So, you got to be realistic, and we get that. So at this point, I don't know that you're able to go after accomplishments per se, but what I would say is leverage more what makes you unique. What are your passions, right? And you got into that more in your summary. So some of that you could actually bring into your current job, and you could actually frame it as, I bring to this role, my passions to, tell a story, to be a good quotes, those things that you had up in your summary. Whatever it is that makes you unique, try to get that in there, work that in there. And as you get, the biggest tip for you, as you're getting more accomplishments, when you're doing things on this current job, make note of them and make sure you're adding them regularly to your resume and your profile, because you just never know when things might change, right? And same here, I assisted the marketing team. Well, tell me a little bit more about that. How did you assist? I don't want to read the word assist. I want to know, I did what? I was responsible for. I handled this. I got this done. I learned that. Those kinds of more action verbs is what I'd love to see there, okay? And here, I did an in-depth research. Interesting. Okay, great. On what? Various topics. Well, what was the result of the research? What did you learn? What did you apply with the research? How is it helping you today? See, that's the kind of stuff that I'm wanting to know from reading that. Now, it looks like you may be doing something here for 2019. This program will help me, so that this looks like you're still in school here. Not sure exactly what it's for. It's a strategic relationship marketing, George Brown College. It's a program, so is it a degree? Is it a certificate? It's a little unclear when I'm looking at it. So anyway, I'm going into a lot more detail than I usually do. These are great, by the way, licenses, certifications. I would highlight those in your summary. Point out that you've been doing them. Point out that you've got this volunteer work here. And let's check one more thing on here. You've got some skills. Think of other skills that you have. Team management, teamwork, business strategy. I don't see marketing. If you're into marketing, I would expect those to be one of the top 3. And you do have the competition turned off. Good for you. Looks like you have changed your URL here to match your Gmail, it looks like. So that's at least a little bit better, and that's pretty cool. Good job. So again, it kind of goes back to that headline, and it goes back to the summary. You got to grab us there and keep building out your experience sections, Manpreet, and you will be popping in no time. I really hope that helped. This was a lot longer than usual. Let me know if it was helpful. Thanks so much. Have a good one.